Now, we talked about the power of antennas, and we measured that by this idea of gain. And you might remember that when we talked about these antennas, here we go, put a little base on there, is that some could be directional, some could be omnidirectional. It all just depends. But between that and the amount of power from that transmitter is going to give us that overall gain. Well, all right, we can figure out what that gain is because we know how much power we're using. We know the type of antenna that we have. So we can get that as an absolute measurement. But the problem is, again, is as this radiates out, right, we're losing the power of that gain. And so this dBi is simply a measurement of the antenna's gain in a measure that we can use as a relative change. So rather than doing the actual math to calculate what that gain is, we can measure the power at the start and then from there measure the power at this far end, and it again is a unit of comparison to compare what those two powers are. So we start anyway at the strongest point or the focus point of the antenna signal, and then we can measure what that power is at some other location. And so we're going to get a relation of how much of that power has been attenuated as a matter of comparison. And again, you could do the full mathematics, but you know the actual equations become a little more complicated when you're dealing with 1/100th, 1/1000th, you know, and going on from there. And so having a way of just doing a comparison gives us a good idea about the power loss of what we can measure and get, again, the idea of the coverage area.